Hello, dear student. I welcome you at Spontaneous Study Academy in our biology class. And in our today's biology class, we are going to learn about the ear, anatomy of ear and mechanism of a hearing. In today's chapter, we will learn that what is the ear and what is the or how it look internally, means anatomy, and we will see how we hears or what is the proper mechanism of a hearing. We will try to cover these all points in today's session. So what is ear? The ear are the sensory organ involved in the hearing as well as in the maintenance of the body equilibrium. Anatomically, the ear is composed of the three divisions, namely external ear, middle ear and the internal ear. So what we learn about the ear? That ear is a sensory organ. Why sensory organ? As you know that we all have a five sense, and among them hearing is one of the most important sense, and hearing is related to ear. Therefore ear is the sensory organ. And second point about the ear is that it helps in the body equilibrium. It maintain the body's equilibrium. How it maintain body's equilibrium? In our ear, when the middle ear ends or internal ear starts, there is a tube called the eustachian tube, and the eustachian tube help in the equalizing the air pressure on either side of the tympanic membrane, or in such a manner ear help to maintain the body equilibrium. And what is the eustachian tube? I will explain while I will explain the internal ear. And if we are talking about the anatomy of the ear, anatomically the ear consists the three parts. These three parts are the external ear, middle ear and the internal ear. We will learn these all part one by one. So we are starting the first point, which is the external ear. What is the external ear is? See, externally or external ear consists the pinna and the external auditory meatus. Means externally ear consists the two things. One is the pinna. What is the pinna? As you seeing in a diagram or on a screen, the ear which is present beside your face are the pinna, or pinna is the part of the external ear. Along with the pinna, external ear also consists the an external auditory meatus. This one means pinna goes inside the brain, goes towards the brain and through a pipeline, and that pipeline is the external auditory meatus. We also can say the canal. Now what is the function of the pinna and what is the function of the external auditory canal? The pinna collect the sound waves coming from the environment. See, the arrow you are seeing on your screen along with the pinna, these are the sound waves which is coming from the environment. Our pinna collect these all sound waves, and these sound waves transfer through the external auditory meatus towards the brain, so that our brain could recognize it, that which type of a sound is that, or we can hear. Okay, so it was all about the pinna and the external auditory canal. External auditory canal is just a circular tube which lead inside up to the tympanic membrane. Now what is the tympanic membrane? See, this is the tympanic membrane where the external auditory meatus or canal ends. It called the tympanic membrane or eardrum. It is just like a curtain which is present at the end of a canal, and it help in the hearing, or it play a very important role in the mechanism of a hearing. And as you can see in the next diagram, the skin of a pinna inside of the pinna, or we can see we can say that the skin of the pinna and the meatus consists the fine hairs and the wax secreting ceruminous gland. Okay, you can see here friends, there are the hairs, minute hair, these one, and there are the ceruminous gland. I show the hairs and the ceruminous gland with the help of a red pen. The dot like structure are showing the ceruminous gland, and the dash like structures are the hairs. What is the function of these hair and ceruminous gland? Hairs are for the purification of air. What is the air which is going inside? Sorry, not air. The sound waves which is coming in our ear should be purified. And for the purpose of the purification of the sound waves, there is a presence of a hair. And what the ceruminous gland do here? The ceruminous gland secretes the waxy secretion, and that waxy secretion trap the dirt if it is present in the sound waves. Okay, it was all about the hair and the ceruminous gland, and it is the complete structure of the external ear. In the starting I told you that the ear consists the three parts: external ear, middle ear and the internal ear, and we have started the first part, which is the external ear, and it is the complete structure of the external ear. Let me explain it again. External ear consists the two things: pinna, this one pinna, and the external auditory meatus, which is also called the canal in short. Okay, and what is the function of a pinna? Pinna collect the sound waves, these one, which is coming from the surrounding, and these sound waves go through this pipeline, which is the meatus or the canal, towards the brain for the purpose of the mechanism. And inside the auditory meatus and the pinna, there are the presence of a hairs and the ceruminous gland. And the function of a hair and the ceruminous gland, I think it is clear to you now. It was all about the external structure of the external structure of the ear, or the external part of a ear. Now we are moving towards the internal structure of middle part of the ear. See, after the middle part, this one is the middle part of the ear. Middle part is the shortest part of the ear. Generally, the middle part is based on the three ossicles, which call the three ear ossicles. What is meant by the ossicles? Ossicle means the small bones. As you can see, I drawed with the red colored pen. There are the three minute bones are present here. These are the three ossicle, which is mainly the middle part of the ear, and these ossicles have a name: malleus, incus and the stapes. The first one, this one is the malleus. You can see this one is the malleus. Second one means this one is the incus, and this one is the stapes. Okay, so middle ear consists the three ossicles, which are the malleus, incus and stapes. The malleus is attaches to the tympanic membrane. It is the first bone and have attachment with the tympanic membrane. Tympanic membrane, which was the part of the external ear. And the second one, malleus, is attaches to the tympanic membrane, and the stapes is connected to the oval window. These one, stapes get connect to the oval window. What is the oval window? Oval window is the part of the internal ear. When we will start the internal ear, I will show you that where the oval window is present. Okay, and the stapes is present towards the oval window, and in between the malleus and stapes a bone is present, which is the incus. It was all about the middle part of the ear. After completing the middle part, we are moving towards the internal structure of the ear. See, now we are starting the internal structure, but before starting the internal structure, we should know a tube. We should know about a tube which called the eustachian tube. And I told you something about the eustachian tube while I was explaining about the definition of an ear, isn't it? I told you that there is a presence of the eustachian tube in our ear, which help in maintenance of the equilibrium. This is the eustachian tube, which is present after the ossicles of the middle part and before the starting of the internal ear, and this is the eustachian tube. The transmission of a sound wave from external auditory canal, means from here, the transmission of a sound waves, these arrows are the sound waves. The transmission of the sound waves from the external auditory canal to the internal ear occur due to the ear ossicles. Means the sound is coming to the internal ear, it have to be passed through these ossicles, which are the middle ear or the middle part of the ear, and three ossicle and eustachian tube is present in the middle ear, which connect the middle ear cavity with the pharynx. So what is the pharynx? As you can see that the eustachian tube is attaching to the pharynx. This one is the pharynx. What is the pharynx? Pharynx is the voice box which is present in our neck. Okay, and it help in producing the sound, because while we talk we produce the sound, we require the air, and these airs come through these auditory canal, passing the ossicles and reaches to the eustachian tube, and then reaches to the pharynx, and then pharynx makes the sound. It also help in the equalizing the pressure on the either side of the tympanic membrane. I explained it before while I was explaining the ear. It was all about the middle part of the ear. Okay, as I shown here, this one, it is the middle part. What the middle part consists? Middle part consists the three ossicle, which are the malleus, incus and stapes, and a eustachian tube. Malleus is attaches to the tympanic membrane, and the stapes is open into the oval window. Oval window is the part of the internal ear, and along with these three bones a eustachian tube is present, which attaches to the pharynx, and it have a main function of body maintenance of the body equilibrium, and also help in producing the sound. After completing the middle ear, we are moving towards the internal ear. See, internal ear. What is the internal ear? This one, the diagram or the structure I drawn after the eustachian tube is the middle ear. Means this one. Whole this part is the internal ear, and the internal ear is also called the labyrinth. What is called? It called the labyrinth. It called the labyrinth, and these labyrinths or the internal ear have the two types of a labyrinth. One is the bony labyrinth and second is the membranous labyrinth. As you can see in a diagram, this one is the bony labyrinth, means the outer part. This one is the bony labyrinth. Inside the bony labyrinth a fleshy or the membranous part is present. This one is called the membranous labyrinth. Means internal ear or the labyrinth have a two part. Outer bony part is called the bony labyrinth, and internal membranous part is called the membranous labyrinth. And both the membranous labyrinth and the bony labyrinth get filled by a liquid is called the endolymph. You can see the red dots present all over. These are the endolymph or the liquid material of the internal ear. Okay, now we will see the structure of the membranous labyrinth first. As you see that the membranous labyrinth shows the coiled structure. This one. What is the coiled part of the membranous labyrinth? Is this coiled part is called the cochlea. What it called? It called the cochlea. What is the cochlea? To understand the cochlea properly, we have to uncoil it to understand it properly. So I am uncoiling the cochlea just to explain you that what it look like internally. See friend, this one cochlea. As I show you in a diagram the coiled structure which was the cochlea. Now I am showing you the uncoiled cochlea. This one. As you can see that the cochlea get made by the two membrane. First is this one and second one is this one. And both the membrane have a name. The internal membrane is called the Reginer's membrane. You can see here, this one is the Reginer's membrane, internal, and the external means this one is called the Bacillus membrane. Reginer's membrane and the Bacillus membrane. These membranes divide the cochlea into the three parts: first, second, and third. What are the name of these three parts? See, the upper part is called the scala vestibuli. This one, scala vestibuli. This part is called the scala vestibuli, while the middle is called the scala media, and the lower one is called the scala tympani. These are the three parts of the cochlea which made due to the presence of these two membrane. What I told you about the cochlea, when you will see the uncoiled form of a cochlea, there are the two membrane. One is the Resinger's membrane, the inner membrane, and the outer membrane is called the basilar's membrane. Due to the presence of these membrane, the cochlea get divided into the three parts. The upper part is the scala vestibuli, this one, middle part is the scala media, and the lower part is the scala tympani. And the middle part get filled by a liquid, and that liquid I shown you here, the liquid part is present in the scala media, and that liquid part is called the endolymph. The scala vestibuli end at the oval window. Okay, this one scala vestibuli is ending at that point, and this is the oval window. See this one, it is the oval window at the base of the cochlea, and the scala tympani terminate at the round window. What about the scala tympani? It terminate at the round window. We are not learning about the scala media, we are learning about the first and the last part of the cochlea. The first part or the upper part, which was the scala vestibuli, it ended at the oval window, while the lower part, which is the scala tympani, it terminate at the round window. Means there are the two window present in the cochlea, but they come in front of each other. Why? Because of the structure, cochlea is arranged in such a manner that both the windows come close to each other. The scala tympani terminate at the round window, which opens into the middle ear. You can see here. See that cochlea, this one, is attaching to the middle ear. This one is the middle ear. Eustachian tube is also the part of the middle ear. Means cochlea have a attachment with the middle ear. Means both this one should be the oval window, and this one should be the round window. Both are opening into the middle ear. Okay, after completing the whole structure, this was all about the internal structure, but there is a thing is present in a cochlea. What is it? The special organ is present, and that special organ which is present inside the cochlea are called the organ of a Corti. What is the organ of a Corti? Let me explain in brief. See, this is the diagram of a cochlea, and you are seeing a new inclusion. These one. What are they? They are the organ of a Corti. They get made by, they are present on the basilar's membrane only. What was the basilar membrane? Basilar membrane was the external membrane of the cochlea, and you are seeing these are present only on the external membrane. They are not present here. Okay, so organ of a Corti are present on the basilar's membrane. So what is the function of a organ of a Corti? Why they are present here? I am explaining now. The hair cells are the some hair cells arises. These one, the thread like structure are arising inside the cochlea are the hair, and these hair cell are the columnar ciliated cell, and they all are present in a row. If you will see, the hair cell at the basal end of the hair cell are in close contact with the afferent nerve. Means in next slide we will see that the afferent nerves are arising from their basal part. See these one. See, these are the afferent nerve which are arising from the basal part of the hair cell. These are the hair cells, and these are the afferent nerve, and they have a close contact with each other. While they are apical contact, and there is a membrane is present above these organ. I drawn this membrane in a green color. See, you can see here clearly. This one is the membrane which is present above the organ of a Corti, and this membrane is called the tectorial membrane. This one, tectorial membrane. So what is the organ of a Corti and what they are contain? The small row of a cell is present on the basilar's membrane are called the organ of a Corti. The organ of a Corti consists the hair like cilia, afferent nerve which get covered by the tectorial membrane, and combinedly the complete structure is called the organ of a Corti. Okay. In this manner, we had completed the complete structure of the ear. Let me give you a little revision about it. As explained in the starting that there are the three parts of the ear: external ear, middle ear and the internal ear. Externally, ear consists the two parts, pinna and the auditory canal, which also called the meatus. There is a presence of a hair and the ceruminous gland, and the function of these all things I explained. Now the second part of the ear is the middle ear, which get made by the three ossicles called the stapes, malleus and the incus. First one was the malleus, the last one was the stapes, and middle one was the incus. And after these three ossicle, osteition tube is present, which help in the body equilibrium. And this was all about the middle ear. After completing the middle ear, we had started the internal ear. The internal ear is also called the labyrinth, but that labyrinth have the two types of a labyrinth: bony labyrinth and the membranous labyrinth. The membranous labyrinth is the inner part and the bony labyrinth is the outer covering. But these bony labyrinth and the membranous labyrinth get filled by a liquid material which called the endolymph. Okay, and the membranous labyrinth consists the cochlea, and cochlea is a coiled structure. If you will open the coiled structure of a cochlea, you will see that the cochlea get made by the two membrane, outer membrane and the inner membrane. The inner membrane is called the Reginer's membrane, while the outer membrane is called the Bacillus membrane. Due to the Reginer's membrane and the Bacillus membrane, this cochlea get divided into the three parts: scala vestibuli, scala media and the scala tympani. If you will see at the Bacillus membrane, there is a presence of the organ of a Corti. What is the organ of a Corti? A small hair-like structure arises in a row on the Bacillus membrane. But from the basal part, afferent nerve is also arise, and these hair cell and the basal afferent nerve get covered by a membrane which called the tictorial membrane, and combinedly hair cell, afferent nerve and the tictorial membrane are called the organ of a Corti, and they play a role in a sensing or recognizing the sound waves. Okay. Now we will see the mechanism of hearing. So let us start the mechanism of hearing, that how we hear. See, the sound waves are received by the external ear. These are the external ear, pinna and the auditory canal. Pinna and the external auditory canal receives the sound waves in the form of a arrow. I am showing you the sound waves in the form of arrows. These all sound waves get collected by the pinna, then pinna transfer it to the external auditory canal. Okay, and external ear sent to the tympanic membrane. There is a presence of a tympanic membrane. After passing through the auditory meatus, it reaches to the tympanic membrane, and the eardrum vibrates due to the force of a sound waves. These eardrum get vibrate. As I have told you before, tympanic membrane or eardrum is just like a curtain. It is a very thin structure. Therefore, due to the force of a sound wave, it get vibrate, and the vibration are transmitted by the chain of the three vesicles. Then this vibration touches to these bones, malleus, then incus, then stapes. Means the vibration is getting transferred to the ossicles, and after ossicle, the ossicle to the oval window, then it reaches to the oval window. What is the oval window? Oval window is the opening part of the scala vestibuli, which is present in the cochlea, and the vibration are further passed to the fluid of the cochlea. You know that there is a presence of a liquid part in the cochlea. Then the sound waves goes into this fluid, and the waves in the perilymph, endolymph passes to the perilymph and the endolymph, and the movement in the bacillus membrane. Due to the sound waves, the bacillar membrane, means these membrane get shake, and the hair cell which are present in the organ of a Corti bended and are present against the tectorial membrane. The nerve impulses are generated and sent to the afferent nerve fiber, and the impulses are carried by the auditory nerve to the auditory center of the brain, where the impulse are analyzed, and we perceive the sound. This was all about the hearing of a sound, that how we hear. This was all about the internal structure of the ear. Hope guys you learn it properly. Hope it will be helpful for you. Thank you for watching. Please give your support, like and comments.